What's good? What's good? Osiris here, stuck in the middle. Let's go. AZ Patriot, what's up? Thank you for catching me. Hey, we can't catch everyone. No, it's okay if you missed it. Appreciate you catching what you can. Sarah and the Darren Monier, thank you. Always supported. Appreciate it. I'm going to get into some stories here in a second. I think every single story I've got one, two, three, four, five. We'll see if I get to them all, but they're all positive and white pill type stories, except for one, which is the Minnie situation, the Minnie Mouse. I know, probably heard a lot about it, but I'm going to start out, believe it or not, with Khloe Kardashian. I'm going to get into Fadde Mikhail, candidate in California's 26th district, I believe, new Republican. Evangeline Lilly came out the closet. Much respect. I want to give her a shout out. Elon Musk is with the people. I've always thought he was with the people. I know it's a point of contention with some who think he's just a billionaire and this and that. I don't hate people just because they're a billionaire or smart or whatever. To me, he is for the people. He came out in support for the Truckers for Freedom convoy that has arrived in some have arrived in Ottawa right now. Then I got the mini story. I'm going to talk about Tim Black, who was one of those people on the left who tried to make it sound like it's no big deal. And I'll show you how he actually proved it was a big deal. And I'm going to end, if you stick around, I'm breaking these up and putting them up on my other channel. So I'll put a link if you can't stick around. Bryson Gray mini listening party for his new album. So I'm excited. Hello from Arizona. What is up, everybody? I still don't know what the vibe is going to be for the lives. I was thinking before this, one of the favorite parts of my life was in Ann Arbor, Michigan, University of Michigan, and things weren't woke back then. It was totally different environment. We would just sit down with friends, sometimes random people, and we would be talking religion, politics, social issues, sports, business. And the funny thing is, nobody really had a side. People were just saying their opinion. Like nobody was, I'm a Democrat or I'm a leftist or I'm this or that. And we would talk through the night for hours, listening to hip hop in the background. That's the kind of vibe. So I appreciate everybody joining. Oh, John X Wife, what up? First time watching the stream live. You gotta follow that dude. John, I don't know if can you do that? Put your Twitter in there. He has a great parody account and one of my favorite follows on Twitter. Let me get into the first story. Believe it or not, first time ever talking about Khloe Kardashian. It's a little different, but I'm going to tie it into what we typically talk about on this channel. But my brother sent this to me, and that's where I got this from my brother. And I thought it was interesting. So Khloe Kardashian posted this picture. And, it's just the normal picture. She's got a little monotone look going. Okay. Got a little, her expensive ride. I don't know what ride it is, but it looks expensive, fits the style. That's what these celebrities do. So she's doing that. But then people zoomed in on her hands. So let me go back. So this is the picture that she sent out. So my brother sent this to me. He was like, Twitter is just like high school. So she sent out this tweet here. And then immediately people started zooming in. This is a picture of her hands. And this person said, interview with a vampire ass hands. I don't know if that's photoshopped. I zoomed in on the original. Don't those hands look crazy? I'm going to get to a point here. But seriously, doesn't that look kind of crazy? I don't know if he photoshopped it. I think this is the original. You never know with online. Now, I'm not going to talk. My hands are always ashy. Like I'm not one to talk. But is that weird? Okay, so they go out here, they clown her. Somebody else said Khloe got hands like the Dark Lord. I'm actually a Khloe Kardashian fan, low key. My favorite one of the common things people will ask, a little guy talk, is like, "Who's your favorite Kardashian?" Mine has always been Khloe, and I actually wish she would stay more natural and not do the Photoshop and then all the surgery and tuck-ins and all that stuff. I think she would look so much better natural, but she is my favorite one. Too bad Tristan, man, Tristan did her wrong multiple times. But I'm gonna get to the point. This person said something about Chloe's hands not matching her face is bothering me. Why it looked like somebody put acrylics on raw chicken foot? Have you ever had chicken feet? I swear it looks just like that on the at a restaurant. No, there's no meat on it. It's a odd meal to eat. Chicken feet, not much there. So what's my point? My point is the internet is amazing because we're seeing the same thing that happens in politics. Nancy Pelosi announces that she's running again, and she got ratioed, flamed online. The internet has become somewhat of an equalizer. Would we even know about the Freedom Trucker Convoy without the internet? You elites, these elites, the equalizer, people talk about equity and all this all the time. Let's talk about the equalizer. The equalizer is the internet. Khloe Kardashian, rich, famous, elite, just like these politicians. You post a picture and you get clowned for your chicken feet ass hands. You get brought down. And I think that's a good thing. It can happen to me, can happen to you, can happen to anybody. But I really like it when it happens to people who are up there. Her sister, Kim Kardashian, constantly faces these Photoshop allegations. And if you look at this picture, people are looking at this picture and they're like, wait, hold up. They're like, whoa, hold up. Your leg doesn't look right. You're doing your peace sign. You're supposed to be all perfect and on this. Like, wait, why are you photoshopping your knees? So online users, they figure that out. So they're like, wait, hold up. We're not feeling this. Why does it look thin and stretched out? So then she had to delete it, then upload a new one. The same thing happens with them. Now, this is someone, because I always want to be balanced. Does anybody know Denisha online? I follow her. I think she is great. The reason why I'm ending with her with this segment is because she's photoshopped. She's synthesized. I haven't seen her unsynthesized, but I think she's beautiful. But my point is, but she is freedom minded. She's upfront about her digitalization, and she's basically turned herself into like an art form. And she's upfront about it. She's open about it. She's for freedom. So just because you digitalize yourself doesn't mean I'm going to be against you. So if you know Denisha, let me know. I don't even know. I think she's just a model. I followed her because of her takes, not because of how she looks or anything like that, because of she responded to a lot of Jack Posovic tweets, and she was insightful, and that's why I started following her. So that's the first segment. What's up, my mom? I'm gonna look at the comments for a second here. That's the first segment. So I'm gonna look at comments for a little bit. Somebody said that's creepy. At John X Wife on Twitter, great follow. Appreciate everybody coming in. Some women have weird shaped hands, usually old people. My mom eats chicken feet. I won't even try them. I tried them. It's just not, there's not much to them. Let's go to this next story. What's up, El Deuterino? Let's go to this next story. I'm going to share a new tab here. This is going to be someone who I just found out about. I want to be clear with this. I'm not endorsing them here. I'm not endorsing Fadde. I'm just saying I like what I see. The reason why I'm not endorsing him is like it takes me a little bit to really get into these politicians. But let's talk about what I like here. Fadde Mikhail is running in California for Congress. As a parent, I've had enough. California ranks 40th in education. Meanwhile, DC elites are telling parents to stay in their lanes when it comes to their kids' schools and education. I'm running for Congress so families have better choices and a voice. He's a part of the new Republican group in Congress. Let's see if I can play a little bit of this. If it plays here, a little bit of this political ad. I'll give it a second to see if it loads. Going forth between this and the Tesla clubhouse at the moment. Good to see you live, though. Osiris Den Henson, thank you. Shout out. A lot of Tesla stuff going on. A lot of Tesla stuff going on. And I have to do a whole different price stream on Tesla. If I'm a big Tesla fan, if you don't know, I'm sidetracking here, delaying to see if this video will play. Maybe it won't. But I'm a big Tesla fan. And there's a lot going on with Tesla. The market has, I didn't even look at it today. The market crashed though the last time, Tesla stock went down a lot. And I believe in Tesla. I believe in the company. I believe in the financials, the numbers, the future. It's a no-brainer. So I will, my wife knows, I will be looking to purchase more Tesla. That is an absolute no-brainer for me. I should have tested this. Okay, here we go. Let's go.
This is where it all happens. This is the dream come true. This is California. My name is Fadde Mikhail, and this is where I'm from. My father immigrated from Egypt with only $18 in his pocket. Because of his courage, I grew up here, safe from persecution and oppression. His faith in the American dream meant that I could live my own dream, working with some of the most incredible, creative people alive today. My father made sure that we had it better than he did. But when my wife and I look at our own kids, we wonder, will they have it better than us? Right now, the answer is no. For the first time, California is losing population. It's too expensive, too dangerous, too hard for families to build a life. We've lost more small businesses than anywhere else. Crime is rising. Our K-12 schools rank 40th in the nation. Our kids can't even play in the parks. But instead of fighting for kids, lawmakers are fighting each other. Year after year, the same politicians make the same promises. Year after year, they make our neighborhoods worse. We can't keep following the failed policies of the past. We need new energy, new ideas, a new kind of Republican. I'm running for Congress because I choose to make a better life for all kids. Our children deserve safe, clean neighborhoods, good schools, clean water, and when they grow up, homes that they can afford, jobs, and opportunity. This is where we make sure our kids' lives can be better than our own. That's what I'm fighting for. I'm Fadde Mikhail, and I approve this message.
Let me know what you think. It is a generic ad, so no specifics, but you've got to introduce yourself to people. I didn't know who he was. I don't need to get into the nitty-gritty. Just need to say hello. And that was a good introduction. He's in the LA music scene. I'm not sure exactly what he does, but when I first saw it, I didn't know if he was a Republican or Democrat. I didn't know. So Robbie Starbuck replied to him, and I do know Robbie as far as following him fairly well. He said, you always had my full support. Love you, man. He also got response here from Jennifer Van Leer. Hope you'll be there. You both taking the oath of office. He is also a big Bitcoin guy. I want to hear that. Donald Trump, that's an area where he failed. He's not pro Bitcoin, and he's pro 2A. So there's a lot there that I like, and the vibe that I'm getting is positive. I know it's not everything yet, but let's get into a little bit of this. This person I just wanted to put this meme out here because I was getting the same feeling. Let's go. This is a moment. Somebody replied because Fadde is big into schooling, And someone said, I know it sounds good, but how are parents qualified to create a class curriculum? Somebody replied to say, you make it sound like rocket science. It's not that hard. I homeschooled my two kids. One was a valedictorian, the other was the top 3%. Both are on full academic scholarships. So let's go to his website real quick. One little piece of criticism I had looking at it, he was not very detailed when he talked about the economy, just talked about the liberal policies in California. He said through property taxes, income, cost of goods, California is 1.5 times more expensive than the rest of the country. We kind of know all that stuff. But when you go to his, I went to the education piece of it. Um, so here he is. He's talking about the according to realtor.com, the median home price in Calabasas was down 11.8%. If you have the wealthiest areas in the district losing value, the reduction in vital tax revenue due to issues that can be mitigated will have an impact on a variety of infrastructure issues. So he's tying that the issue of the homelessness and property values going down to education. So he had some more specifics on there. If you want to, just check out his website. I think he's got a lot of positive things that are to like here. Here's a comment that I like. He said, "Expectation that one must go into debt in order to compete in the job market is incredibly classist." You see, like I look at this, it's very hard to tell him from the populist left. I mean, that could be from the populist left or right, which I like. It's incredibly classist, especially when the responsible approach is through comprehensive education reform, where high school students will graduate with work experience, vocational certifications, and a deeper sense of purpose and self worth. I know these are generalities, but I talked about the vocational stuff, other paths. You don't have to go through school. Not through school. I think education is important, but you don't have to go into debt hundreds of thousands or tens of thousands of dollars to find a path in your life. So that's Fadde Mikhail. Let me know what you think. I'll go through the comments there and see what everybody else thinks. Yep, I agree. Oh, shout out. Thank you, AZ Patriot, for the $10 super chat. AZ Patriot says, so happy to catch you live. You're one of my favorites. Hiker. Oh, that's who that is. That's Hiker. Did you change your screen name? Oh, yeah. Hiker AZ67. We've been chatting for months. Appreciate it. Thanks for everybody who made it. So somebody said, I mean, this is fair feedback to the Fadde Mikhail. I think it's a decent ad, but fairly stereotypical and what I expect from a GOP ad. Okay, how would you yeah, I think you're right. I guess you could have said that you could substitute it with an establishment GOP ad and it's possible. I think the vibe is different for me, but because I didn't know what he was. When I first saw the ad, I didn't know if he was establishment, left, right. I didn't know, and I liked the feel of it. But another Bear Gamer says, I think we need more time to see if this guy's good at policy and not just speaking on an ad. I agree. So that's why I say I'm not endorsing him. I'm just talking about the feel. I like Robbie, and Robbie endorsing him means a little bit to me. Here's the thing. I felt for AOC. I thought that she was going to be a good representative. But as time goes on, the truth comes out. If he wins and has to vote, you will be exposed. Just like Dan Crenshaw. Dan Crenshaw got exposed. We know what he is. Sometimes our interests will overlap, but sometimes you can see on the important votes where they go. So you can't hide. And that's what I like about this movement. The populists, the squad, for example, they do all kinds of crazy votes, voting with the establishment all the time. And people still love them like they're populists. That's not the case here. If Fadde Mikhail, I think that's how you pronounce his name, if Fadde Mikhail gets in, votes funny, he's done. So I like what I see, and he's going to have to prove himself. So good feedback. Sarah says she likes him. What about Dave Smith? Anthony Vigil said, what about Dave Smith 2024? I need to revisit that topic. I did a video on Comic Dave Smith, and he is my pick for president at this moment. I'm open to DeSantis, Trump. I even like Marianne Williamson on the left. The race stuff bothers me, but I'm open minded. So, but my number one, and Tulsi Gabbard, Andrew Yang, love all of them. My number one is Comic Dave Smith. Do not get it twisted. I need to revisit that topic. Thank you for bringing up Comic Dave Smith. Oh, is everything in slow motion? Is the video off? I'm still learning this streaming stuff. Hopefully the video isn't off too much because I got a Bryson Gray listening party I want to do in a second here. So let me stop sharing, move on to the next one. This one is just another white pill moment. I want to give a shout out. I want to give props. Evangeline Lilly, Marvel and Lost Star. I think I'm pronouncing her name right. I butcher these names. Evangeline Lilly, and I watched her on Lost. To be honest with her, she probably had some surgery. I didn't even recognize that she was the person from Lost. I love the. Let me know if anybody else watched Lost back in the day. That was a great show, I thought. Marvel and Lost star Evangeline Lilly protests vaccine mandates. This is not the way. This is not safe. This is not healthy. This is not love. Couldn't have said it any better. She took to social media. She did it on Instagram to confirm her attendance at Washington, D.C. protests over the weekend in support of bodily sovereignty. The actress went on to explain that she stands in opposition to government-mandated vaccine policies. Is it weird that the business that she's in, this feels like she had to come out of the closet to confirm. She took to social media to confirm her attendance, like it was something weird or something odd or something to be ashamed of. So it took courage. This did take courage. You can say what you want. I don't know her finances, but she's probably well off. I don't care. That's her business. That's her livelihood. That's what she worked to get into that industry. And she's putting it all at risk right here. She could get canceled, especially, I mean, you know how they treat women in Hollywood. They're supposed to be this, woke and loving environment. When these actresses get older, they take them and throw them out in the trash. That was before all this other cancel stuff. So now that she's saying that, she's getting up there. I watched her on Ant-Man, so I'm not really that familiar with the Ant-Man stuff. She can get discarded in a heartbeat. I was in D.C. this weekend to support bodily sovereignty while Canadian truckers were rallying for their cross-country peaceful convoy in support of the same thing Lilly wrote. Let's go. The Canadian truckers protest has had a cultural impact, and we'll get to Elon Musk supporting them after this. The truckers protest has almost forced people to pick a side, because either you are vocally supporting it or you're silent, and that means you're a waste of our time and you're against it, or you speak out against it. I believe no one should ever, so this is going to be interesting. I believe no one should ever be forced to inject their body with anything against their will, Lilly added. I understand the world is in fear, but I don't believe that answering fear with force will fix our problems. Yes. I like how she's presenting it. Now, she is, as we go on here, we'll see that she's pro-choice. So that's interesting. Lilly concluded that I was pro-choice before C-19, and I am still pro-choice today. I'm fine with that. I think I'm not going to get too much off on the tangent. With the pro-choice stuff, I think that people on both sides are inconsistent here. Either you have control over your body or you don't. Personally, I believe I would I would hope for pro-life, but legislatively, you have the choice. And ultimately, I think it should be left up to the states. That's going off on a tangent, but we can, even if you disagree with her pro-choice stance, let's focus on where our interests are converging. I like that interest convergent is actually a critical race theory tenet. Lilly made headlines at the start of the pandemic. So in March, she came out and she said, some people value their lives over freedom. Some people value freedom over their lives. And she had to apologize for that. Can you believe that? This is the Instagram post. Can you believe she had to apologize for that? My direct and special apologies. I hope with her coming out the closet now, she does not apologize for anything. Don't do that. Stand up. You can clarify, explain, but I'm not going to apologize comment like that. If I do something that I think is wrong, I'll apologize. Don't get me wrong. Interesting that Variety has reached out to Disney for comment on her most recent post. Why would Variety have to reach out to Disney for comment? That's what I'm going to end with. What do we need? What's there to talk about? She said, "I stand with the truckers for freedom." What does Disney have to do with this? It obviously, in my opinion, Variety putting pressure on Disney to say enough, to try to stop her. Let me know what you think. I'm going to read some comments here. Eric Smith, thank you for the super chat. He says, I like what you're doing. Thank you so much, sir. That's what keeps me motivated. Other comments, I feel like these candidates need to do a long form podcast with whoever will take them. That's the only way I can trust them at all. Authenticity is most important. Um, Ghost X, ST leader. Yes, this may sound crazy, but I made a statement for any politician that is prominent enough that I might be able to vote for. If you don't go on a long form podcast, I don't care who it's with, somebody who has to be able to ask you tough questions, fair questions, it doesn't have to be contentious, then I'm not voting for you. So it's going to be hard if Donald Trump doesn't do that. And what I've heard is Donald Trump's handler said Donald Trump doesn't have the attention span to do a 2-hour podcast. Bro, you can do a 1-hour one. Like you do half an hour interviews all the time. Just did one with Candace Owens. Just do 2 of those back to back with a bathroom break. I want to see you do a long form. Tulsi Gabbard went on with Joe Rogan. Andrew Yang, that's how I found out about Andrew Yang. Andrew Yang went out with Joe Rogan. He went on with The Breakfast Club, long form. My brother texted me. He was like, you ever heard of this dude, Andrew Yang? I was like, shoot, I don't know. I was wondering if I usually have my math hat close by. I don't even have it, but that's how I found out about them. And Carrie Lake, Robbie Starbuck, all these different people. The long form podcast is where it's at. Let's get to the next one. Elon. More white pill moments. A lot of this and these white pill moments, notice, I think a lot of them are coming from the truckers, based off of the truckers. Billionaire Elon Musk tweets support for Canadian truckers. He does not have to do this. He's Elon Musk. He will be known in history for SpaceX, Tesla, Neuralink, Boring Company. Am I missing one? He'll be known for the greatness of those companies. Even if he's silent during this trucker moment, that's not going to be the number one thing when history is written about this man. He does not have to speak up. I do not think this is phony. Elon Musk is a billionaire that is for the people. That's not an oxymoron. Billionaire Elon Musk has tweeted his support for Canadian truckers, and given the timing, it appears to be a thumbs up. Of course, it's a thumbs up to the truckers, drivers protesting VVAN dates for cross-border drivers and other lockdown restrictions. This is Elon Musk. All he had to do is tweet 3 words: Canadian truckers rule, and you know what he's talking about, and it's powerful. Who says Twitter doesn't matter? I'm sorry. Twitter matters. That's the only platform this man is on. One of the smartest, most powerful, insightful, crazy, influential dudes on the face of the earth. And the only social media platform he's on is Twitter. Think about that. Elon Musk, CB radios are free from government media control. Let's go. This meme was powerful. These memes, C-19 emergency powers, government, why shouldn't I keep it? Just like Lord of the Rings. I heard Governor Abbott extended his emergency powers. Lieutenant Colonel Alan West tweeted about that today. I don't know how long. I didn't really get a date. But why are we extending these powers? They get power hungry, power drunk. But Elon Musk didn't just do that support for the truckers. Powerful statements, white pill moments to talk about this out in the open with his millions of followers. If you scare people enough, they will demand removal of freedom. This is the path to tyranny. Simple, powerful. Elon Musk he's putting himself more at risk saying this stuff than not. Well, we already know he's persona non grata with the government. We already know that. So somebody replied to him, Cybertruck guy. It's like, how do we fight back? Serious question. There's many ways. We talked about that on this channel. Elon Musk, the richest man in the world, says vote them out. That's what's making me hype about the America First movement. Not just the candidates, is the fact that if you don't vote, if you don't have the pulse of the people, you will be primaried. Your stay in Congress will be very short. Vote them out. Lex Friedman, holla at me if you watch Lex Friedman's podcast. Great stuff. Scare the people, divide them, remove freedom, profit. I think it's more than about profit control, and you ensure generational control. And I'm going to end with these comments here. The way I found out about this too with the Jussie Smollett situation. The way to fight back is with reason and love. Love is more powerful than fear. Somebody replied, you can love all you want. That doesn't resolve the issue. If you think it does, you're on some copium. No, but it's powerful. Yeah, don't underestimate the power of love. The reason that common people are falling into what I think is a trap is because they think they are doing it out of love. When Joe Biden says, I'm nominating somebody because of the color of their skin and their gender, and people are clapping like baby seals, they're doing it because they think they're showing love. So if you come at that with only hate, then that's not going to work. So you can love all you want. That doesn't resolve the issue. Well, when the leitmotif of resistance, rebellion comes from love and the defense of human rights, you win. I don't know who that is, but I'm going to save that so I can follow them. When people post insightful stuff that's concise like that, that's amazing stuff. Let me know what you think. Eric Smith comments here. So I've got, after this, I've got just two more segments. Eric Smith comments, the mayor of D.C., where I live, extended her powers too. Oh, yeah. Oh, D.C. is just DC is getting hype right now on this power drunk of power. Oh, yeah. And it's DC too. So they're playing up to the Congress, the establishment. DC is such a unique place where you look at it and there's the greatness of the White House and poverty like all around it. It pretty much is a microcosm of what's going on in the country. Rich, powerful elites. When I went to DC, it was a long time ago. That was a long time ago. I was shocked at the poverty right outside the White House. I mean, it's just stunning. What's her name? Is it Muriel Bowser or whatever? But yeah, 92% of DC is pro-extreme leftist, so it doesn't bother them. I don't know if people saw in the HR1. I didn't even put this. I did a video on HR1. HR1 is the full wish list of the establishment federalization of voting. They had language in there to promote to help DC become a state in the voting rights. So you could see what they're voting. They want DC to get 2 senators. They want to wrap this up where it will never be non-establishment again after Donald Trump. Let's go to the next story. The next story, you might have heard about it. It's been talked about a lot going on with it. The Minnie Mouse stuff. So let me get into that. I'm gonna try to take it to a place that's maybe a little different. Because if you're like me and you watch a lot of people, you've heard, and you're online, you've heard a lot about this, and I kind of tend to shy away from those, even though those are probably the topics that are better for the algorithm if you want to get people involved. But let's talk about it. So Tulsi Gabbard talked about Biden's mistake. He should not be choosing a Supreme Court justice based on the color of their skin or sex, but rather on their qualifications and commitment to uphold our Constitution and the freedoms guaranteed to all Americans in that document, which is the foundation of our nation. Amen. Thank you, Tulsi. So how do we get to the point where a president, this couldn't even happen 7 years ago without really big pushback. Less than a decade ago, a president could not do what he said multiple times, that he's going to hire someone strictly based on their gender and sex intersectionality. How did we get there? Let's listen to Tim Black. Tim Black, I believe that's his name. He blocked me on Twitter. I forgot what we were. I think I'm always respectful, but some people don't like the other side. Tim Black is on the left, and he took that position like, why are y'all on the right or non-left talking about this?
Since when did you stop and think about what Minnie Mouse was wearing? If you're like me, you probably had other shit on your mind, But now the conservatives are losing their damn minds because Minnie Mouse is going to be wearing a pantsuit instead of a dress. Check this out, Johnson.
Saying this, Candace, but Disney is totally changing Minnie Mouse. Disney is putting Minnie Mouse in a pantsuit. That's right. They're getting rid of the skirt. And this is Disney Paris or something like that. And I thought, who better to ask about this than Candace Owens? Your reaction. Why are they doing this?
Oh, I'm just so glad. I'm so glad they're doing this. Let me just tell you, Jesse, it goes back to like when they did this to the M&Ms, and now they're making her more masculine. And I'm glad that they're now realizing that this needed to be addressed. All of us were traumatized when we saw Minnie Mouse and she was looking like a female as we were growing up. I mean, look, this is why people don't take these people seriously. They're taking all of these things that nobody was offended by. It's like they have to get rid of them and destroy them because they're bored. They're absolutely bored. They're trying to destroy fabrics of our society, pretending that there's issues. So everybody looks over here. Look at Minnie Mouse. Don't look at inflation, Jesse. Look at Minnie Mouse. The world is going forward because you've got her in a pantsuit. Never mind that you can't get anything at the grocery store and you can't buy a piece of bacon unless you've got $30 in your pocket. At least we're addressing the real problem, which is Minnie Mouse.
That's right.
They're trying to destroy the fabrics of our society. Yeah, they're trying to destroy the fabrics of our society because Minnie Mouse is wearing a pantsuit instead of a dress. Here's the thing, guys. That's some bullshit. You're focused on the wrong things. You're focusing on, dividing us about pantsuits from Minnie Mouse. And I'm like, hold on a second, motherfucker, you're talking about it. You're talking about Minnie Mouse.
Yeah.
They didn't ask you to talk about it. You're dividing us by talking about this shit, making it a big issue. Another thing, Disney owns Minnie Mouse, right? So, how is it that they're destroying the fabric of the country when it's a private company changing the wardrobe of a cartoon character? When I listen to people like Candace Owens talk this nonsense, I can't help but go, damn, Damn, Irami was right. Irami said this. He said, in order to do well in America, you got to be willing to throw black people under the bus. And that's what Candace Owens does every time she opens her goddamn mouth.
I'm going to keep this going. This is why I wanted to show this. How did we go from Minnie Mouse in a pantsuit to Candace Owens throwing black people under the bus?
Because here's the thing, guys. In order to make this shit sell, the thread that you're catching on the other side as you stitch yourself to this bullshit fabric of the country, you got to go along with shit like those people that condemn taking down Confederate statues. You got to say shit like, it's destroying the history of America to take down a fucking Confederate statue.
That's why I wanted to show that. Did you see how that started from the left? It started with the classic left. Oh, you're talking about Mickey Mouse. Oh, you're talking about Dr. Seuss. It's so stupid. Why are you talking about that? 5 minutes later, he's talking about Candace Owens being a traitor to black people and taking down Confederate monuments and statues. He himself is showing the importance of the decision. And Candace Owens, and I'm not saying that Disney can't do it. I can laugh at it. I can say it's stupid. And I can say that's the reason the Overton window is shifting left. That's their cultural impact. Joe Biden doesn't control culture. 10 years ago, you couldn't do this. So how do we get to that point? It's just like Tim Black's video. The video starts with laughing about the pantsuits. You think we really care about a cartoon? It's about the ideology. And then 5 minutes later, he's talking about black people, the Confederate flag, and more substantial things. That's how the Overton window shifts. Is now Mickey can't wear a dress. Mickey, pretty soon, I'm not going to say that stuff. That was an accent. Minnie can't wear a dress now. The M&Ms have to be this and that. Dr. Seuss is inappropriate. That's how you, before you know it, the definitions change. This is from 4 years ago. The definition of racism. The definition of racism is the belief that a particular race is superior or inferior to another. So that doesn't matter what race. It could go either way. That a person's social and moral traits are predetermined by his or her inborn biological characteristics. Racial separatism is the belief most of the time based on racism that different races should remain segregated and apart from one another. When you use that definition of racism, everything the establishment is doing falls under that definition. In Denver, they've got colors. They literally have colored, they didn't say it like this, but that's what it is, colored only playground night. They're separating people, segregating people. The belief that a particular race is superior or inferior to another, they are practicing racism. But you know what? That's inconvenient, so the definition changes. So now you can't apply this definition to Joe Biden. when he says he's going to pick someone because of their gender and color. Racism, the marginalization and or oppression of people of color based on a socially constructed racial hierarchy, intersectionality, that privileges white people. So now it's impossible based on this definition for a black person to be racist. It's impossible based on this definition if someone says, I'm going to hire someone because they're black, they fall under an oppressed group. So it's not possible for that to be racist. That's that that's how the culture changes from all those little things that seem meaningless to they add up year over year over year to now you look at this, we don't even know what the definition of racism is. We don't even know what the definition of a woman is. That's how it happens. Let me know what you think. Yes, the first comment I saw is the comment that says from Shadowban this, in all reality, our differences are only cultural. Everyone's the same color to blind people. I did a video just a little while back on what is black culture. Like what is that? Like you're supposed to like am I supposed to have a culture just because of the color of my skin? Like is there a light-skinned culture? Okay, I brought it up in there. Like Steph Curry is like really light. Is my kids, if you don't know, my kids are biracial, they have lighter color. So do my kids have a different culture than me? They're light skinned, I'm darker, my wife is white. What is what is that? No, a black person from Alaska is different than a black person from Cleveland, Ohio, because of culture. So I've got one last. So the last one is just the Bryson Gray. Appreciate everybody joining. The Bryson Gray listening party, and it's a perfect segue. I'll talk about that in a second. I'm going to look at some comments here. Somebody said they love Candace. Candace Owens is great. You hear her on long form podcasts. She is wonderful. I'm a big Officer Tatum fan as well. The one thing that is not a big deal, but I don't tie myself to, and I guess Officer Tatum doesn't tie himself to a Republican Party, so I won't say that. But it feels like Candace Owens has tied herself to the Republican Party, and I'm not. I'm just. I don't know. There's a little much on that angle of it. Ghost Leader says, you will be assimilated into the woke cult. There is only one ideology allowed. Why do you care that they change everything? What's wrong with you? You like American culture? You're racist. That's a good comment. He says it's like they hear things that no one said. That's straw man. Studio Dude said it's like they hear things that no one said. Absolutely. That's the straw man argument. They're making a case, an argument against something that no one said. It's a brilliant strategy, because if you're just coming into the conversation and you didn't hear what Candace Owens said, you think that she would say, you would have thought she said a private business shouldn't be allowed to do it. It's brilliant. The definitions are being changed on purpose. This is Eric Smith in the chat. It's all connected through the cultural Marxist techniques and feminine intersectionality. In all reality, our differences are only culture. That's the one I read. Yep. So I'm going to do my last one here. Hopefully this one works, because this one is going to involve listening to music. I will stop it every while. I don't want to be disrespectful to Bryson with the copyright type stuff. But Bryson Gray, this is my last segment here. Let me know if you are a Bryson Gray fan. If you're a hip hop fan. I'm a big hip hop fan, and Bryson Gray already is one of the more memorable hip hop artists that I've ever followed. I'm going to go through here a little bit. We're going to listen to the album a little bit. And I made a statement about Bryson Gray that kind of shocked some people. And I'm going to try and back that up here right now. Eric Smith, good comment there, especially. Did I ever get, wow. AZ Patriot. No, not many people know I was trying to get my music channel going. I did not. I'm still working on it. It's always a battle of time. Bryson Gray, new album, Us vs. the Industry, came out just yesterday, I believe. I believe it was just yesterday. I thought I saw him go live. I wasn't able to catch the live, and I wanted to go back and watch it, but I don't know if it got taken down or he took it down just because of whatever. But I did listen to the whole album already. Let's start with this.
What is up, YouTube?
I talk about the importance of Bryson Gray. Let's talk about this. He was put on a public hit list by a J6 committee, one of the most, not that I agree with it, obviously, but one of the most historic, monumental committees that's ever been created in Congress. His name was on the list.
It is your boy Bryson Gray, and I'm coming to talk to you guys about something that's possibly important, but honestly, I don't really care that much because I got God on my side. But if you guys don't know, Nancy Pelosi has released what is being deemed as the hit list, conservative hit list, MAGA hit list, whatever you want to call it, by the January 6th committee, which is in our government. So the government are actually seeking out private information and trying to find out things about a list of people. And they had a specific part of the list that was pretty much straight influencers. So they have influencers on this list, and I am on this list. Me, I wear it as a badge of honor, but a lot of other influencers are taking it more serious than I am. Rogan O'Hanley, Christy Hutcherson, Gina Luden, Jack Posobiec, Bryson Gray, which is me, but is it? Because they spelled this Gray, G-R-E-Y. I don't know who that is. Never heard of the guy. Wish him the best of luck. I don't know exactly the point of the list is. The question I have to ask you guys is, why would they release this publicly? Because this was meant for the FBI and other government agencies. What was the point? What was the reason to release the list publicly? Why are you releasing people's names to the public to let them know? Because I got on Twitter and I see a bunch of liberals commenting on this list, and they're calling everybody traitors, saying something should happen to us. They hope we go to prison. So what is the point? My theory is that it's a fear tactic. What is up, YouTube? It is your boy.
Yep, absolutely. It was a scare tactic to do that. I'm gonna get into that. Let me do this first. I'm gonna go to this first. I said Bryson is that dude. People might think I'm crazy, but he is already, sorry for messing that up there, but he's already solidified himself as one of the most important MCs of all time. I grew up in the golden age. I would not say this statement lightly. Now listen to my words that I chose carefully. I didn't say he was the greatest talented of all time. I mean, I would say somebody like Chino XL is one of the, Razkaz is talented, not from sales, but just, and then you could go by sales where you look at influence like Biggie or Pac or Jay-Z, Drake. I said he's one of the most important MCs of all time. I love KRS-One, Q-Tip, A Tribe Called Quest, De La Soul. None of them got put on a government hit list. None of them were so influential. That J6 committee hit list was a list of the most influential, the most powerful people that those in Congress, the establishment, were afraid of. Because they put people on that list who weren't even there. That list meant something. And you know, he's trended, he's sold a lot. And he's taken hip hop, and I just did that thing on Minnie Mouse. So we can't stop Disney, and I don't want to stop Disney from being able to do what a private business wants to do. That's not like the censorship issue that a business like YouTube, you have no business censoring people becoming the public. So that's a whole different thing. So I'm not saying we can't stop Disney. So what's the solution? Bryson Gray is the solution. This is hip hop. young people watch this and listen, and I'm not young obviously anymore, but I listen to it. This is the yin to the yang of Minnie Mouse in a pantsuit is Bryson Gray, showing that there's culture on the other side. It's funny when you talk about diversity in work and environments, they talk about diversity and now it's inclusion, equity. It's funny that, and I'm all for diversity, but it's funny that diversity never includes conservative values. I don't think I would not call myself a conservative. I'm just making an observation. Like, when have you ever heard diversity include somebody who has conservative values? It's a key word for more leftism. And Bryson Gray is saying that we have diversity in hip hop, we have diversity in culture. If you like music, just like Tim Pool's a skater dude, if you like skating, you don't have to be a leftist. Bryson Gray got on the government hit list and he doesn't even cuss. He's a religious rapper, really. Let's get into the joints. That's all I had with that. We're going to end with the joints on a good note. Friday. Thanks everybody for checking it out. Let me try to get back here. I clipped, this is not the whole album, obviously. I clipped some songs and we'll go through, rock with them. I clipped some of the songs I thought were my favorite ones.
Rap used to be counterculture, now it's just a bunch of robots parodying each other and a bunch of women with bow ties. I still be real when the music stop playing.
Woo! Boy, you see, that's an old school beat right there. And I wish Bryson would do just a throwback album, maybe just 5 joints, like an EP of golden age hip hop type beats. I like his current beats too. Don't get me wrong. I got to bring this back. That came in too hard. I got to bring that back. I got to bring it back. I got to bring this back. Woo!
Rap used to be counterculture, now it's just a bunch of robots parodying each other and a bunch of women with bow ties. I still be real when the music stopped playing and the show stopped. Thought they had us all, but Bryson came in with a roadblock.
That is going to be my first or second favorite. I'm going to end with my other favorite song, but woo! That's some heat right there.
As long as we got God, then we gon' win. We gon' win. Yeah, we gon'.
That's the mood for this live right now. We talked about America First with Fadde Mikhail, Evangeline Lilly coming out the closet, Elon Musk supporting the Canadian truckers. They're going to be doing their thing tomorrow. Bryson Gray's album dropped. We're going to win. That's the vibe I'm on right now.
God, then we gon' win. We gon' win. Yeah, we gon' win. As long as we got God, then we gon' win. We gon' win. We gon' win. We gon' win. They tried to take me out, but I bounce back again. We gon' win. We gon'.
The thing I like about Bryson is he doesn't make things too complicated. Sometimes MCs, they use beats that are too complicated or they try to get too fancy with their rhymes and their scheme. I think he wants to keep that message at the forefront.
Gon' win. I said as long as we got God, then we gon' win. We gon' win, we gon' win, we gon' win. They tried to count me out, but hey, I'm back again. I lost some fans because I stopped condoning sin. Lost opportunities because I can't pretend.
And comment to that, I do wish. Now, you can't change who somebody is. He's got to be himself, but I do wish he was a little bit more careful.
Rising angel. Yeah, you rising angel.
Nice vibe, switching it up. I don't know who that was featuring. I think his name was Jason something, but really nice vibe.
I know how it feels. Someone else make a mistake, then they just blame it on you. They don't take responsibility, they just get angry and take it on you. How can you defend yourself, say it's good for your health, but I say it ain't true? I'm the voice of the lost, that paid the cost, that mistake ain't on me, that mistake is on you. I didn't say to have sex unprotected, you knew the risk, but you still neglected.
This is it right here. This is the joint with Anomaly.
They always offended, it's often admitted. I'm all independent, I irritate those awfully wicked. Wait, pause for a minute. Bryson, why you causing division? I loved your music, now you're homophobic, all for attention. They say I'm only popular because I'm controversial. But is it that your favorite rappers all with pop commercial? You can't be controlled cause I don't need
If you're a Tim Pool fan, pay attention.
Yeah, they say you going way too far, you need to chill. Sorry, I don't really care about how you feel.
I resurfaced on purpose, I'm Houdini. Now I ain't going nowhere like I'm Tim Pool's beanie. I got permanent sermons and words that can burn through a genie. I could perfectly search for the serpents and fly like an eagle, praise Jesus. Your favorite rapper is satanic.
That's a dope song though. If you haven't seen that video, I think it's called Controlled, right? Check that out on Bryson Gray or Anomaly's channel. This is my song right here. This is my #1 song on the album.
I'm way down.
I like when artists.
Why they go the wide path, I'm heading narrow.
I'm a sucker for a mellow beat, and it highlights the skill of the MC, and they just rip on it. AZ Patriot was talking about how I used to play almost every video. I used to play like a full hip hop song at the end. If you go back and notice, a lot of them are mellow beats, MCs just ripping on them, just like this.
On point like an arrow, I'm on a new level. They hate but going downhill like Will Ferrell. I just keep going forward, I never backpedal. Matter of fact, no Drake, I'm going back to back. They try to cancel me, but I flip the script like an acrobat. I bet they love me better if I was banging and trapping crack. Yeah, I used to rap for the world, ain't going back to that. Nah, no insurrection, I'm going in. And they tried to box me up but couldn't hold me in. They keep banning my voice, here we go again. I mean, try to name somebody that I don't offend, I don't know. You scared to be offended, then you won't grow. Coming to America, I'm just letting my soul glow. Thought people was real, can't even holler for
just a teaser. Just a teaser. Woo! That's some heat right there. And the message too.
I am the most censored rap artist in the country and probably the world. And it's not me joking, trying to make a brand. I just embrace what it actually is. I got banned on TikTok at 400,000 followers. I got banned on Instagram at 250,000 followers. I got a new one though, you feel me? There's a website called Bandcamp that's supposed to specifically be for independent artists. They banned me within 3 days. Spotify banned a song. SoundCloud banned a song. YouTube banned 2 of my songs. I can't even make a song nowadays. And I don't even curse. I don't even curse. I don't know, crazy. It was something consistent in why my songs were getting banned. No straight social stuff. But my Let's Go Brandon song was the least controversial song I have ever made. And it still got banned. You can't even ask a question about the pandemic anymore.
So it's about more than that. That was my last segment. Why are they banning him? Because it matters. Why are they banning him? Because the Eminem stuff matters. That pulls things to the left. He's pulling things to the right. They don't want that. That's why he's getting banned. He's successful in doing it. If he didn't have any influence and wasn't talented, nobody would care because he wouldn't be pulling things into another direction. It's so crystal clear to see. And that's why check out Bryson Gray's new album. It's Us for the Industry, right? Us versus the Industry. Good stuff. That is that's all I had here. So I'll check out some comments and then we'll be out. Thanks for everybody for listening. I am putting the clips to these up on my Stuck in the Middle clips channel, so I'll put a link in there for that. 20 songs in the album, that is a lot. To me, that used to be too many songs for me on the album, but nowadays the way I listen to music, an artist release an album and I save the 5 songs I like out of it, and that's what I listen to. So for me, you can release 100 songs and I'll take the 10, 20, whatever I like and keep listening to them. Spotify banned I'm canceling Spotify. Did Bryson get banned from Spotify? I think I still listen to him on Spotify. Well, that's what I had. The theme for today was America First winning. We'll see what goes on tomorrow with the trucker freedom convoy. Thanks a lot for listening, everybody. Have a good weekend. I don't know if I'll be able to go live on the weekend, but I'll drop like little segments here and there. Appreciate the support. Take care.